Hey everybody, it's Missy again. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Hip Kit Club, and this is my first layout using the new 2018 October kits, and look how gorgeous. I just had to kind of thumb through some of the things here to show you. There is a lot of the new whimsical collection from Paige Evans and Pink Paisley, and a little bit of Vicky Bouton, a little bit of crepe paper, some Jen Hadfield papers, but mostly whimsical. And then a lot of the whimsical embellishments. This is a little sticker book, and the stickers in there are paper stickers. And then you get this thicker set. I'm not quite sure where those are from, but I love the fonts. More whimsical stickers, rub-ons, puffy stickers, and I really love this Heidi Swap stamp set. And there's a ton of other stuff, but these are just the things I pulled out to use on this layout. And I'm going to be scrapbooking a picture of me because our theme this week is all about you. And so everybody should be scrapping a layout something to do with them. And when you look at the whimsical collection, there are a lot of things that relate to being crafty. And so I thought, I've never made a layout about my love for scrapbooking. And so that is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to use just about everything that I love about scrapbooking, or things that I love to use on my pages. And flowers is definitely one of those things. So I'm fussy cutting out this big floral cluster from one of the Paige Evans whimsical papers. And I'm also going to use some of the ephemera die cuts that are all flowers. And this is another one of my favorite sheets. It's another whimsical piece, or whimsical paper, and it's just all these really colorful phrases and words. And just look at the colors. The colors are so rich and deep and gorgeous. Oh, I love them. And there's a lot of phrases on there that have to do with being crafty and doing things that you love, and maker's gonna make, and that kind of thing. And so I just cut out several of those, and I don't even know how I'm gonna arrange them yet, but I know that I'm gonna use them somehow. And then when I looked through this set of thickers, I saw this word create, and I thought, okay, that's gonna seal the deal. This is definitely going to be a layout about me loving being creative, and so I'm gonna incorporate create as part of my title. Okay, now here are all the goodies from the October color kit. You get 3 shimmers. One's a spray, one is an original shimmers paint, and one is a creamies, I believe. A creamies. This color here is new, and it's new to Hip Kit Color Kit, and it's called Pop Art Pink, and it kind of has a coral look to it, a deep coral color, but when you spray it, it's very, very light coral pink, and it's got gold powder in it. And so when it dries, it is not only pink, but it's got a gold shimmer to it, and it is really, really pretty. I'm mixing in a darker pink that we got a while back. It's a spritz called Ruby. And then this color here, it is a yellow golden shimmers paint, and we get it this month, and it's called Sunflower, and it is the most gorgeous yellow golden shimmery color you've probably seen in a while. Look at that. It's so thick and chunky, and it's just got, you can't get any more shimmery than that. Let me tell you, it's so pretty. The video doesn't do it justice. It's gorgeous. If you like gold, then you need that sunflower color. This color is also in this month's color kit. It's that light blue color. It's called Ride the Tide. And I'm going to mix it in a little bit with the darker blue that we got in August, I believe, and that's called Oaky Bear Blue, and it's sort of a navy color. And I'm just rolling this on with a brayer. I didn't use any gesso, and when you use a brayer, you don't really need a lot of ink because it's going to roll it and smudge it as thin as possible. And and it dries really, really fast. So my paper really did not warp that much. I wanted to lighten up that area just a little bit, and so I do smudge a little white gesso over it, mainly just to make it a little bit softer. And then I'm going to come back in with the Ride the Tide blue with my brush. And this, I really don't care if this looks messy or not, because a lot of it's going to be covered up with things. And so in this case, the background can look a hot mess because it's going to be just kind of showing in and between everything else. So I did spray a little bit of Jenny B blue on there, and we got that quite a while ago, as well as the Spritz Ruby here, to backtrack and see what months those came in. So I'm going to situate this big flower cluster with my photo on top of it in that general area right there. And I'm just going to keep playing around and seeing what colors I want to add. I felt like I needed a deeper pink kind of below and above the photo. And so that's just all I'm adding here. And again, that's the Spritz Ruby. And I'm just kind of spraying it and then using my brush to smudge it around. I'm coming back in with the Pop Art Pink. And I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with all of those little phrase tag pieces that I cut out. But I know this is part of where the photo's going to go and all of that. And I pulled out all of the things from Whimsical, and I'm going to look through it and pick out. There's a little pair of scissors, there are some paint brushes, there's a little bottle of what looks like glue. I'm going to use those some way, shape, or form on my layout. And so what I decided to do is stick the scissors underneath the word create, because if you see where the R and the E and the A and the T kind of create this arch, the little scissor handles fit perfectly right underneath that. And so then I went to those little phrase pieces and I thought, okay, where am I going to put all those? And I thought, you know what, let's just kind of make a little list of these things here. So it looks kind of like a list, but it's not really a list. But I'm going to make 2 columns of these pieces, and that's how it's going to go. And I love how the scissors look there because it just fits right underneath the title. And I'm just going to kind of play around with some other things. I put things on there and then I take them off. There's that little bottle of glue, or it looks like glue to me. And then here's a little paintbrush. I'm going to scatter these things around, and some of these phrases are awesome. I'm going to glue all those down. They say making magic, favorite, let's get creative, oh yeah, create more, stress less, must make things, all the colors, maker's gonna make, find time for things you love. And so all of those things speak to me when I'm thinking about scrapbooking, because I definitely love it. I'm gonna raise up the big flower cluster, so I'm just adding some adhesive foam to the back of it. And I love all these big sheets of adhesive foam because you can just cut it up into whatever size or shape you need it to be. And you can bend it pretty easily too if you have something that's on a curve. So I'm not going to do a lot of layering behind the picture. I am going to add a little bit of tissue paper there just to give it a little messy something behind there. And then I'm going to try a couple things that I don't even wind up using. We also get a pack of ephemera die cuts from Vicky Booten Field Notes. And they are awesome, and they match and coordinate perfectly with all the whimsical things. But I just couldn't make any of them work with this particular design because I felt like the more I layered underneath the picture, the more I covered up the big flowers in the background. And so I just felt like I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to position a little purple bottle of paint and the glue bottle. I think I'm going to stick those over on the right, but I really love that sticker too. It says she believes she could, so she did, but I wind up taking that off. And this is just kind of like putting a puzzle together. You just put a piece here, and if it fits, you leave it, and if it doesn't, you take it off and you try another one. And this is part of the fun of it for me, is just kind of seeing what looks good where. And the problem, well, I don't want to call it a problem, but the issue is so many things look cute in so many places, and I wanted to use way more things on this page than I did because so many things are adorable and so many things fit this theme. But I had to pick and choose. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I am going to add a couple little details down in these little phrases here. Some little tiny flowers, a couple of paint brushes, some leaves that go with the flowers. And that's what I love about Paige Evans' little sticker books that go with her collections, is there's usually a lot of smaller, tiny little pieces that you can use in little areas like that. Now here comes the thread. I'm going to add in some darker pink thread over on the right, and then some yellow thread over on the left. And again, it's just pops of color, and it adds texture, and it just adds to the messy factor. And since I'm making a layout about what I love about scrapbooking, then you know 100% I'm going to have thread on there because I love me some thread. And I love flowers. I love getting messy. The only thing I don't use on this layout that I love is a cut file. And that's okay because you don't have to use cut files on every layout. I'm just going to start to glue it all down here. I'm just adding my glue. I know I'm going to get a question. I get asked all the time what glue I use. And I use the Scotch tacky glue, and I get it from Michael's. And I put it in this little bottle that is well loved, and that is why it's so sticky and dirty. And I got that from Hobby Lobby in the model cars aisle. So these are probably one of my favorite pieces of Whimsical. Look at these thickers. They're multicolored. It's almost, the finish on these, they're shiny. It almost looks like they have like glossy accents on the top. They're really shiny and pretty, and they're gorgeous. And so I decided to add a couple of those and make my title Live, Love, Create. And I'm going to add that yellow flower over on the left for a little pop of that bright yellow. And then here come the rub-ons. And these rub-ons went on like butter. They are fantastic. And I'm going to use a couple of the butterflies because that's another thing that I love. So why not add butterflies? I'm going to add a little purple one up at the top. And then this one is pink and that dark coral reddish color. And then this one is more of the darker pinkish color. Puffy stickers. I decided to add some clouds. I don't even know why. I love clouds, but there's not even really a sky or anything going on. But you know what? I don't care. I think they look cute up there. And so, yeah. Giant leaves and tiny clouds. Why not? Now here, I took a break and off camera, I did some stitching. I just did a couple of different colors that matched with some back and forth stitching just to create a little bit of messiness down there because I love stitching in my scrapbooking, and so I had to have some stitching on there. And then I thought that this area up at the top left needed a little pop of light blue, so thread to the rescue there. And I really am liking how this is turning out. I'm loving the colors. I'm going to add a little bit of enamel shapes, 2 more cute little teeny tiny butterflies, and that's from Whimsical. And then these are little buttons. They're on the sticker sheet. And I thought, yep, buttons, gotta have those. A pop of purple, another little flower. That's what I love about little tiny stickers, is you could just spend all day adding them here and there onto your page because there's always a spot for a little flower or a little heart or something like that. I thought about using one of these Jen Hadfield phrase stickers, but nah, I just decided against it for this particular page. So one of the last things I'm going to do is add in some Minor 49er gold. I know that sunflower is pretty gold, but I thought I needed a softer gold as well, and so that's what I'm doing here, splattering that. And we got that last month, and it is a gorgeous golden shimmery color. And I thought I would add my journaling over here on the right. That's pretty much the only spot I had left for it. And then off camera, I'm going to show you, hopefully you can see this in the close-ups. I add a little bit more stitching with white thread. I added some trails from the rub-on butterflies, so it looks like they just kind of flew into the page. But I love how this turned out. It was a lot of fun to make. The colors, oh, the colors, you guys. I'm in love with these deep, rich colors. They're so pretty. So yeah, I hope you guys have gotten your kits. They are definitely on their way if you haven't. Make sure you upload your projects to the Hip Kit Club member forum so we can see them and ooh and ah over them. And I hope this gives you some inspiration or some ideas to try and scrap a layout about yourself. This was surprisingly fun to do. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching.